remember how to do this.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, welcome back to Trek in the Valley. We are on our break between seasons 1 and 2, and we have had a wonderful month off so far.
It's been pretty smooth. Nice weather. Now it's kind of June gloomy here, though.
Yeah, we both traveled. I promoted the podcast in Fargo, North Dakota.
Oh, I celebrated just family stuff in Florida.
What were you there for?
Just like birthdays.
Did you go to Disney World?
No, we were in Naples, Florida.
Is
We went
that
to the beach. It was just like coastal
is
stuff.
that like
coastal Mexico?
Italy, Florida,
No.
Naples?
Yeah, right. I know.
It
The
reminds me of JoJo.
It was so funny because every time I'd introduce the trip to people and I'd be like Naples, and they're like, "Oh, cool, Florida," and they're like, "Oh, okay."
The pizza is decidedly less good
It's all right,
in Naples,
yeah.
Florida than Naples, Italy.
I don't know. Yeah, it's really apples and oranges here. They do want to be European, though. There was a really complicated fountain that I saw on the bougier part.
A
And I was
complicated fountain.
like
it
massive,
was troubled.
4 statues, like surrounding one, post in the middle with like all this beautiful.
I thought you meant it
etching
was
on
like
the edge.
I thought you meant it was like brooding. Like
Oh,
it was
no,
complicated, like
no.
Batman. Like it was like dark.
Yeah, right. I know, right? They wish, but I was just looking at it and I was like, this is way too over the top. We're in Florida. Anywho, but yeah.
Yeah,
Good trip.
on the bonus episodes you get extra chair squeaks. My
Yeah, a little less
my
casual.
coffee clacking around. So what? So
I'll try
yes,
to cut that in out.
we are. Oh, dude, come on, edit. No, this is gonna be it's gonna be a long, probably a little bit longer episode. I don't want you
True.
doing any additional work. Yeah. So welcome. We are in the June gloomy, as
Yep.
Al said, San Fernando Valley, recording a bonus episode of the Trek in the Valley podcast. My name is Adam Ordal Quinnell. I'm here with
Hi, this is Al Hurt.
That's What We Sound Like. And
What's up?
and we have a podcast that you're listening to now called Trek in the Valley. If this is your first episode, it would actually be an interesting episode for your
Pretty
first
interesting
episode.
spot to stay at.
Because this is a bonus episode that we're recording between. We're kind of retooling for season 2, figuring out how we're gonna make it bigger and better for the 3 or 4 of you out there. We want
You got to make it sleeker.
yeah, we're
smoother.
we're gonna turn it into a panther of a podcast, but in the meantime, we wanted to reward people who do actually tune in. Hey, this is a bonus episode, and we thought about what we could do for bonus episodes. And I think the most obvious thing was, hey, let's watch one of the movies.
Yeah, this was actually a really good pick too.
And what's a better place to start with the Star Trek movies than the one that literally has motion picture in the goddamn title?
It's as simple as it gets.
I wonder if the
Very beginning.
reason it's Star Trek the motion picture is because they were worried that people would think if it just said Star Trek. They're like, I'm not going to go to the
Exactly.
to watch something I can watch in reruns at 2 a.m.
We were just talking about it too. What is it? I said Close Encounters of the Third Kind popped off, and that's a pretty long title. So they
Yeah, well,
figured,
regardless
Star
of-
Trek the motion picture, like that sounds like, hey, this is it. This is the big one. You can't miss it. It's the motion picture.
Yeah, there you go. and you're right. And truly, what I love about the title, and this is like, so if you're new to the podcast, we do not do any research. No. I might be an asshole and pull up the Wikipedia in a minute because there was something I saw on there. We also have our compendium that Al got at a fucking secondhand store, and we consult that. But so the reason it's funny that it's Star Trek the motion picture is because it truly is. And this is like a very stoner take, Star Trek the motion picture. Like it's so fucking cinematic, right? And it really it stands out from the series in the ways that they tried to make it like a movie, specifically bigger sets, bigger special effects, but also like just a longer and, kind of more emotional story arc. They had really time to...
It's split into 2 parts, we both kind of decided.
Yeah,
I mentally did it just in my head.
It feels like, and as somebody who's currently failing as a screenwriter, thank you very much, during a strike, no less, will the job that I want even be a job when I can get it in a year? Who knows?
We're better off producing at this point.
So we're gonna start a Patreon. We're gonna start a Patreon in Dubai.
There we go.
$150,000 a month buy-in. But yeah, so Star Trek: The Motion Picture, it came out in it came out in 1979. This is 12 years.
Yeah, that's right.
12 years after the original series.
Long time.
It was directed by Robert Wise, which is awesome because he has just a completely wild career. For somebody, he directed like West Side Story and The Sound of Music, like those massive musicals from the 60s.
That's funny that you say that. People really like the musical score.
Well, and also they definitely paid attention. Yeah, the fact that somebody who had experience directing musicals certainly contributed to the emotional impact that the underscore had on the story.
The theme's timeless, too.
And how they weave the theme into the orchestral music from the, somebody...
it's the motion picture edition.
Exactly. and it so I suppose we could start by saying, so it's 1979.
We also saw the director's edition too.
Oh, and that's...
We should mention that.
Yeah, so the one that we watched for the podcast is the director's edition that's on Paramount Plus. It looks incredible. Remaster. It's basically, I think it's very much like the remaster. It's kind of like the same approach to the remasters, but this was oversaw by Robert Wise. He
oh shit,
yeah, he fucking supervised what footage they used and how they cleaned it up and what effects they added. He was really hands on. I watched a little when this came out a couple years ago, or when I don't even know when the director's edition came out, but when it came out, I saw a YouTube video about it, and it was very interesting.
I'll have to check it out.
But yeah, so Robert Wise, he directed, like I said, West Side Story, The Sound of Music, The Andromeda Strain.
What?
Which is based on I think that might be the first Michael Crichton. Yeah, I think that's the first Michael Crichton movie. The Andromeda Strain, 1971. Guy who wrote Jurassic Park. I think that's his first, unless Marathon Man was, but anyway... I digress. This is gonna be way too long if we go to. But anyway, he's a great director, and it fucking shows on the screen. And so they were gonna make a TV show, and instead they ended up making this movie.
Oh, and you can definitely tell by how the way it's structured and the way it was written too. I kept repeating to Adam, they felt like they were propping things and setting things up, but obviously the resolution ends everything.
Yeah,
they clean slate.
They're definitely all right, and then in a couple years we're gonna make another movie, maybe, or we could spin it into a TV show. Definitely. So basically, the studio began work on the film in 1975.
It got delayed a ton.
Because the TV series was so popular in reruns and shit. And it was going to be a $15 million movie directed by Robert Wise. And they planned on returning the franchise with a new television series, Star Trek Phase 2. Yep. But then the you said from the compendium and from Wikendium, there's the Close Encounters of the Third Kind convinced Paramount the science fiction films other than Star Wars could do well. So they went... Fuck these TV shows. We're going to get the original cast back together, make some movies. And that's what they did. The budget, they said, the estimated budget on IMDb was $35 million. And gross US and Canada from Box Office Mojo, it made $82 million. So it doubled its money. It certainly it's so interesting because
it would make a little more.
Well, it's still very good. I mean, it doubled its money.
That made its money back, yeah.
Well,
and then some.
But it's so sad that that's what we consider.
Well, money's so fucked at this
people
point.
think that Ant-Man, say what you want about Ant-Man Quantumania, it's a big corporate soulless whatever the fuck, right?
Oh, yeah.
But it made $700 million, and that's a flop.
Dude, that's
because it
millions of
costs
people's careers,
because it costs
right?
$300 million to make and
Millions, but-
$50 million to promote. So if it doesn't like triple its money internationally, it's a fucking flop. And that's why
Yeah.
people only make these big, safe
It's fucking
movies.
weird though. But think about it. There's like hundreds of people that are like depending on that, right?
And-
Just to make that check at the end of the
But
day.
they're still going
and then
to
thousands
but-
of special effects artists. That
well,
we have
but and
no
that's what
idea who
this
they
whole
are.
and we're recording this in the middle of a writer's strike that is about
yeah,
all
that's
this
right.
shit, right? So Ant-Man cost $250 million to make. It makes like $700 million, and apparently that's a flop.
Do you think
but it's,
Netflix would
like,
just
it's
greenlight
twice-
so many screenwriters?
It's twice as much. It's like doubles its money, and it's because it's so these people at the top can stay billionaires or whatever.
For sure.
And it really does dilute the fun in it. Like I think getting like. Yeah,
It's a business
I
now,
still
though,
enjoy.
man.
I mean, and it has been forever. And I still enjoy all those big dumb Marvel movies. And I recently rewatched Quantumania when I was at
Yeah.
CoreCon in Fargo in the
was
hotel. It was fun as hell. It was fun.
Okay,
I did have to
okay.
watch it with motion smoothing on because I couldn't turn it off on the hotel TV.
weird.
So it was like I was in hell watching Ant-Man Quantumania. But it was fun and it's funny. But it shouldn't cost $250 million to make, and it shouldn't have to make
Everybody's gotta get a
to
piece of
make
the
4
pie.
times as much money to fucking be successful. And that's not because the people who are actually making it are being greedy. It's exactly the other way around. But but
That's
would be
another
considered a
podcast,
flop
though,
today.
dude.
Would be considered a flop today. So this and my personally my connection to this movie, it might be the first Star Trek thing I ever watched. My family had it on Betamax.
Damn.
We had this and Search for Spock. And
okay.
when we were talking about this beforehand, my wife was like, "You didn't watch Khan?" And I said, "No, when I was a kid, even into my teenage years, that
Really?
movie creeped me the fuck out because they put a bug in Chekhov's ear
Oh yeah, that's right.
that
The
controls
Chekhov.
his thoughts. It's disgusting. And now I watch it and I think it fucking rips, like as an
Right.
adult that's into weird shit, earbug wise. And so, but when I was a kid, it creeped me the fuck out. So like my Star Trek movies were this and Star Trek IV Undiscovered Country where Chekhov says nuclear vessels 100 times. Like I saw those
Nuclear
movies. I saw those movies 400 times. Absolutely loved it. Actually, it was probably that more than this. I only watched this a couple times because as a kid, I couldn't appreciate the pacing and all the
my
shit we're going to talk
gosh,
about, But I
yeah.
definitely
That's a
watched
discussion.
this even more than I watched Con when I was a kid because of that earbug. But
Okay, so what's weird though, directly off the bat about this director's edition that we both noticed
Starts
is
with
that
the
it
stars?
starts 3 minutes of just star footage.
3.5 minutes of star footage, and
We
I
were
tell
like,
you,
what is this for? I guess
a
people
better-
coming in the theater.
a better podcast would Google it. But hey, that's the homework assignment
leave it
that I give to the
curious.
that's
Yeah,
the
we'll
homework
leave it to the
assignment that I give to the
curious.
kids. But there's like 3 minutes of
And they're
just
talking, hanging out.
they're all it's just stars and then the Paramount logo 3.5 minutes in. And it starts with these Klingons that are out in space, and they see like a giant space tech storm, right? That's like how this would be described, I guess. Here, let me just play the motherfucking movie.
Well, yeah, and then just the space shots already are really, really gorgeous.
Yes. Oh, and so Al and look at that shit. Sorry, I'm watching the Klingon ship.
The ships,
Yeah.
yeah.
So Al and I were texting about this, and he was like 30 minutes in, and he texted me, "Is the movie just called Star Trek: The Motion Picture?" And I went, "Nah, dude, motherfucking director's edition, bro." And I was like, "It's this whole other thing." And so then you'd watch like a half hour of it, right? Did you rewatch the first half hour?
No, I mean, I saw some special effects in here and there, and I did see like the space
Incredulous.
stuff.
Look at this. So look at this shit. Here, let's
No,
go.
I mean, I rewatched all this shot and the space
Dun,
stuff,
dun, dun, dun.
but I knew what happened.
Like that's like Battlestar Galactica.
Oh,
Like,
it holds
it looks
up.
so
it looks
great.
really pretty.
So these Klingons are out
internal
in
shots.
space. These Klingons are out in space, and they encounter this anomaly, and it just wastes them. Like it just absolutely nukes them into nothing. The effects are fantastic.
Dude,
and
the Vulcan
while
planet, oh my god.
and then while the and then after these Klingons get melted, it cuts to as the Klingons are like basically blowing themselves up while trying to fight the anomaly. It cuts to Spock on Vulcan, the Baron. Oh, also a Federation station.
They stop by and they're like, "What happened?"
They watch. No, the Federation
watch it
station.
happen?
They see a transmission of the events. They were monitoring it from afar.
That's true.
And they say the anomaly that did that is going to get to Earth in some time,
shit.
and
3
that's
days,
bad.
right? Or
3
no,
days.
They said 3 days. Yeah.
So this whole movie's got to take place in 3 days, and it feels
That's
like
funny.
it, but I love it. And then there's
Literally.
this awesome exterior shot of Vulcan. It looks like a Diablo 3. Like the
it
Vulcan
does.
looks like a Diablo 3 map, and I fucking love it. And doesn't we're looking
Some
at Leonard
Elder Scrolls
Nimoy
stuff.
Leonard Nimoy Elders. I was
Some,
gonna
like,
say
lava
Conan.
planet.
That's so awesome.
Conan
I was
too.
gonna say so Leonard Nimoy is looking like somebody from Conan the Barbarian, and then he's squinting into the sun, and then we see these huge statues. And is that what the statues looked like in the version you watched? Just look at that fucking shit. Those
Yeah,
statues
right.
look incredible. Like there's no. Basically, this is Spock doing his Kolinar. Now, those of you who are real Star Trek fans, I can't believe you're still listening to this podcast.
Yeah, well, Kolinar.
But if you're just starting, I promise you we're getting better. But the Kolinar is when a Vulcan puts aside everything but logic and commits
that's
themselves
right.
only to logic, and then they just become like this logic flesh thing.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's fucked up, dude. It sucks. It seems like it would suck shit, but
No, that's like priest shit. Just being like a monk.
yeah, it seems like it would suck
Nothing,
shit.
He's not gardening or anything, but
So he's doing his Kolinar, right?
Right.
But then he feels a distress, something reaching out,
disturbance in the force.
a disturbance in the motherfucking force.
No, he said he has an emotion that was so strong that
Yep.
reached across the galaxy that he was like, I gotta figure out what this is.
Well, so the funny thing is, I thought for the entire time that was Kirk. Like that was Kirk's, like his love for Kirk, and Kirk is in distress,
Oh,
reaching out to
really
him.
cute.
But no, it's V'ger, the
Yeah,
thing
it's-
at the
yeah,
end.
Yeah.
So he doesn't get
That
to
would
do his
be- I don't know,
Kolinar.
actually, maybe Gene wrote that at first, and they're like, no.
Yeah, but he doesn't get to do his
No,
Kolinar,
Gene.
and then he's got to go take care of some shit.
These shots of Earth, I was watching, and I was like, damn,
were, of
they
course,
really like
cut to a
went all
well lit San Francisco, where of course Starfleet headquarters is and always
beautiful docking
shall
station.
be. And
Yep.
let me make sure this is still recording. Good.
Okay, cool. Anywho,
Yeah, so we see this, and we see a new Vulcan.
science officer, yeah.
Yeah, obviously it's weird because they're kind of suggesting that Kirk has a Vulcan fetish.
Yeah,
Like he
sort of.
requested a Vulcan science officer.
No, and he's immediately rude to the Vulcan too.
Yeah, he's got a lot on his mind, as we discover.
Yeah, but also it's like,
Look at
okay,
this
he's
exterior
immediately
shot.
to his antics.
So we're not, and again, if you're just coming to this podcast, we don't normally like watch along like this, but this
No.
shit looks so
It
cool.
does look really pretty though. We
And
gotta watch it
so
again.
we're seeing these exterior shots of the space station where Kirk is leaving to go to the Enterprise because there's something with the
he
transporters.
immediately wants to go there.
There's something with the transporters. So he's having Scotty fly him up to the Enterprise.
And their plan is like, Scotty's like, hey, we have like maybe like 24, or no, he says, what is it? We have 24 hours to repair it. And then we have like maybe 3 weeks of testing or something. And he's like, no. We need it in 12 hours.
Yeah, so basically Scotty says, hey, the
No.
Enterprise isn't going to be ready to go for like weeks. And Kirk is like, no, we got to be ready to go in 12 hours. And I'm going to fucking tell everybody why. And also, I got to say, Doohan, the guy who plays Scotty, just looks
He
incredible.
crashes. They all do. I mean, honestly.
But
they do a good
really,
job all coming back together.
We lose
It's
track of
smooth.
Doohan, though. Right? Like, he's not in any of the stuff we watched. Like, so when Al came over, he was like, it's kind of in and out. We should watch the last, like,
Doohan?
45 minutes again. Scotty.
Right.
He wasn't in the-
He's not in the latter part.
He's
No,
not- yeah,
not for
but
sure.
he's
There's
on the
nothing to do with
Enterprise.
it. It's got nothing to do with engines.
But it
he was there
could.
to explain the. He was there to explain the one last part though to the audience, where it was like, why were we ordering that self-destruct?
Oh, he's the self-destruct guy.
That's it.
Okay.
Because that's an engine part. Has
Self-destruct
some
is an engine part.
Antimatter matter action.
Oh, dude. And this, so.
But this sequence when they go check out the Enterprise is
Oh my gosh.
so
I'm
nuts.
sorry that I just made that sound in your ears if you're listening to this on excellent headphones, but it is so fucking funny. So Scotty is like taking Kirk out, and Scotty, like,
He's
this is
listing
where
all the problems.
So yeah,
dude.
and Kirk is basically telling Scotty, "Look, I'm gonna command the Enterprise," and Scotty's like, we already have a captain, and that's gonna be a problem we get to in a minute." But
It's so stupid.
so they're flying Kirk to the Enterprise, and they gave her back to me, Scotty.
That's so creepy.
Gave
He's
her back,
yeah,
sir.
dude.
Well, I doubt that's easy with Nagura, who's the is the captain now.
I love Kirk's answer.
So-
like, you're right.
They're so funny in this scene, like the warmth in their eyes. They're so happy to be making money playing these characters again. You
Once
can see
again,
it.
we're
Yes.
back in it.
Oh, we're making money. I'm making a good money again, sir. And there's
so
just awesome
weird.
shots of this
The
weird little pod.
composite, it's so
Yes,
great.
so many great composite shots, so many great matte paintings that they lit really well, and then they blended
Gorgeous.
it with like HD effects in the remastering process.
What cracks me up though is right as Kirk's pulling up to the Enterprise and all that, you see those little shots of little people
Oh my
just
God.
floating in the air. I'm like, what a fucking nightmare. What if you couldn't get back? You
Well,
know,
and you're-
there's
what-
no rope tying you to like wherever you're leaving from, right?
This is my job. I'm a socialist.
Yeah,
like
you're
"Oh, that's like
shit,
I'm in the
no."
Federation.
Just like you could just fade.
Well,
off into the
they do that
distance.
in like spoiler alert. There's an
Right.
episode of Lower Decks that opens with them accidentally leaving the lower deckers somewhere, and they come back 8 hours later, and they're almost out of oxygen, and they're all really cold, and it's really fucking funny.
Yeah, because that would happen.
So this is a sequence
How long
that's
is the sequence?
well, I don't know how long they're actually looking at the Enterprise, but this is an oft
hilarious.
parodied sequence where Scotty is showing Kirk his baby for the first time since his
Oh my
since it's
gosh.
retrofitting,
2
and there's like
years, though.
shots
It hasn't been that long.
shots from every fucking conceivable angle. And he's just like, there's so many
mean,
shots of
come
him
on,
and Scotty
man.
smiling at it. We're just and then
Smiling at the camera, really.
I'm telling you, there's an episode. It's got to be like the season 2 premiere of Lower Decks or something, where they're seeing the Cerritos for the first time after it's been fixed up, and they do a bit where it's like several minutes long, and they cut to their faces a bunch of different times and from different angles, and yeah, it's absolutely great. But
It's
also,
so interesting.
but also, this shit looks awesome, and I would
Oh, it does
love
look
to see
good.
it on an IMAX screen. You
yeah,
know?
yeah. But I would, maybe cut it like maybe 30 seconds.
30 seconds. And they're not there yet. Like
No.
we've been, So
The whole
like I
time
said,
we've been
this
chatting,
isn't normally
they
a watch
cut
along,
the
but
corner and they come around,
and then
I'm
he
like,
smiles like that's my lady. I'm
and
Captain Kirk.
You know what I was saying to myself too the first time I saw this? I just wanted Kirk to be like, all right, I get it. Like, let's press the gas. Like, let's get there. You know, like let's let's get on board. You know, because I'm at work and we have 12 hours.
So did he already?
They spent 30 minutes just going around the corner. You know.
So did I? I didn't skip the. Oh, so Kirk gets to the ship, and the first thing he does is go to the bridge, which is like under
First thing,
maintenance.
of course.
And Uhura sees Kirk, and she's like, "We just
Scotty
got
is
your
requested at the engine room.
we just got your transfer of command orders," and she's like super stoked.
Oh, she's so excited.
And then after Kirk leaves to go with Scotty to the engine room,
Some freaking intern scrub.
is like, "But what about the guy that's the captain now?"
right.
And Uhura's like, "Shut up! We just doubled our chances of survival on this fucking shit."
My mind immediately went to we have Corbomite. Anything that you do to the Corbomite will go back to you. And I was like, yeah, he can lie.
Dude, he's a great.
And that's what he does eventually in this movie anyway. So it's hilarious. I'm like, he's got
he
charisma,
uses his,
so.
as Lady Gaga says, poker face. And so he wanted.
dude.
Oh, and also
Dude, that's
there's
so
a
creepy.
there's there's a hilarious and the guy who says and Captain Decker is a very, if I was going to say somebody on the Enterprise is obviously an incel, it's the guy with the massive brain
forehead and the yellow eyes.
he gets some, bro. But yeah,
we're in space.
Yeah, and there's a shot later that I want to talk about where he's in the background and they composited a shot of him in the background with somebody else in the foreground. Because that's how they do it, to have somebody in both areas that are in focus. Right. They have to do a composite. Oh. That's one of the ways to do it. Mm-hmm. I learned in my Super 8mm film class I took in college 20 years ago. I'm an old motherfucker that hasn't done much.
Oh, yeah, but it's what you were saying earlier with Sulu, like, being...
Oh, yeah, Sulu says he wanted her back and he got it.
And we're like, oh, okay.
Sulu rules,
Sulu's on board, though.
He's so happy.
Like, Team Kirk for sure.
He wanted her back and he got it.
Everything's back to normal.
Yeah, he kicks ass. And then Kirk's got to go break it to the...
It's so funny.
So this Captain Decker... Captain Decker, the guy, so Scotty and Kirk, Stephen Collins, but he's Captain Decker. He's he's the actor Stephen Collins. Scotty and Kirk show up. Captain Decker's like, oh, wow, they sent an admiral down. This must be a 4-star send-off. Yeah, right. And Scotty like goes, I gotta bounce. Like Scotty's just like, look at his face. He's taking a shit.
On the way, Scotty's like, does the captain know? And he's like, no, I'll have to break it to him later. And he's like, what? Okay.
So Uhura knows this guy just lost his command. I'm taking the center seat, Will. That's what he says.
Boom, he just tells him right off.
I'm replacing you as captain of the Enterprise. You'll stay on as executive officer. Temporary grade reduction to commander. And Decker is just like gutted, man.
He just fixed something in the engine room. Yeah, that shit breaks though, doesn't it?
And that's why he says that's why you're staying aboard, because you know this shit and you can help me.
So weird though that he was just like, I want to fly this thing, but like
I know
I have no idea of preparation how to fly it, but big things coming to Earth, so I'm the best.
And
but
this
that's
is
just Kirk stuff, right?
And this is also one of the big differences between the movie, like I'm the movie, and the TV show, right? Like this kind of tension between characters and the scene chewing that they're both doing and the close-ups between like Kirk and Decker.
We're less than half an hour in.
They're so fucking awesome. Yeah. And it's really like it elevates. Like you wouldn't get a scene like that serious in the show, in the original series anyway. And Kirk's got it. So Kirk's getting everybody together, this is where we have this. So they're beaming. God, so they're having problems with the transporters, and
that's one of the problems that Scotty lists. He goes, okay, something's fucked with the warp engines, and something's fucked with the transporters, and we can't get. It's something about power and distribution with power in it.
And so then, we see Ensign Rand. We see Carol Ensign Rand for the first time again. That's her. And she's operating the transporter, and then whoops, these
Kirk's like, out of the way, let me try something.
Do you know that so these two people who are getting beamed up get killed? They get turned into monsters from the thing.
Disgusting.
And then they get beamed back to the starbase, and Kirk is like,
oh no, they're forming. That line is just so cursed.
Oh no, they're forming and they're screaming. It's like a more Diablo shit, distorted screaming.
Awful.
And then Kirk asks on to the people who get the bodies on the other end, did they survive? And the guy goes, not long, sir. And Kirk goes, thank God.
Yeah, seriously. It's disgusting. That was the first time in Trek where I was like, wow, this is pretty morbid. Like, I'm glad they finally showed that.
There was nothing you could do, Rand.
It wasn't your fault.
So Kirk has already watched two of his... He took over the command. He's watched two crew members die. Oh, and
did you know that?
Did you know
they're still parked?
Did you know that one of the crew members that just got turned into a John Carpenter monster was the Vulcan from earlier?
Yep.
Oh, and now he needs a Vulcan. And Decker's like, there aren't any Vulcans. And
that line. He goes, looks like you'll be doubling as a science officer. And then he just walks away like he didn't just fucking murder the science officer 2 seconds ago because he didn't fix the transporter.
So then it cuts to the entire crew of the Enterprise in like the lobby, I guess. I don't know, on the Enterprise.
The lobby of the Enterprise, yeah.
And they're watching the Klingon ships get wasted by this entity on screen. And then Kirk comes up and goes, yeah, we're all fucked. Like that entity is coming here in 3 days, 53.4 hours away from Earth. and we are the only crew qualified to fuck with it, basically.
Yeah, they're the only they're the nearest ship,
And they're
apparently.
closest.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, okay, but there's no warp fast enough.
Yeah, there's there to get
it's the
to
movie,
intercept. Right? Yeah, to intercept. So
I had to travel about 6 or 7 hours to get to the Enterprise, but that doesn't matter. I wanted to be captain, and we're going. Damn it!
oh, and they also have to
hilarious.
get Bones on board. Is that what happens next?
No,
Oh.
yeah, they introduced.
Oh no, they introduced the
Delton,
Ilana.
yeah.
Lieutenant Ilana comes down to the bridge, and Decker knows her from a previous where he was previously stationed, and they had a bit of a connection. She says, Lieutenant Ilya reporting for duty. And then she says something hilarious that they never really talk about again. She says hey to Decker, stationed on Lieutenant's home planet some years ago, blah, blah, blah. Commander Decker. Oh, she expected Decker to be captain, but he's not anymore. See, that's a composite. That's 2 cameras that they put
Right.
together.
They do a lot of that.
Bonkers.
It's so weird.
And so she says, my oath of celibacy is on record, Captain. By all means, may I resume my duties? And then he's just like, so and then they never talk about it again. And guess who didn't Google it? Me. And I'm not gonna, because we're already like a half hour into this shit. So here we go. They're beaming up Bones, and he does not want to be beamed up. Said something first about how it scrambles your molecules, and really, we just saw 2 people get melted by this fucking thing. And just because the computer said
just
it's
melted, yeah,
but they had a voiceover that said the transporters have been repaired to maximum capacity. Well, and then you make Bones be one of the
like,
first.
To hell with that voice.
So Bones shows up with a beard, and he's wearing a swinging 70s. This was made in the 1970s garb. And he's really salty. Basically,
I like his belt too.
Kirk called up like a little used loophole to get him back into Starfleet, and Bones is pissed. And he says, I'll explain what happened. Your revered Admiral Nagura invoked a little-known, seldom-used reserve activation clause. In simpler language, Captain, they drafted me.
Wow.
And he is totally a hippie, and then Kirk admits that it wasn't Nagura, it was him. So, and you know what Kirk says? Oh my God, this sequence. I'm sorry that this is
any
just
object we don't understand is a thing.
I'm sorry that this is just becoming a watch along, but these dialogue exchanges, don't worry, we'll have a lot of footage of space to fast forward through. Because Kirk says, listen, Bones, there's a thing out there. And Bones says, there's always a thing. Why does everything we don't understand turn into a thing?
Yeah.
And
he just seems miserable, though.
But yeah, he basically says, damn it, Bones, I need you. And then Bones goes and shaves. I need you.
Badly.
Pause. Badly. Puts out his hand. Oh, the hand. Kirk is holding out his hands. It's like a tag team wrestler. Like reaching for his partner.
Dude,
like
look.
he's like, it's so great. It's so cinematic.
Right. But
and
on
like
the
how
other
like
end of
so
it,
just
it's like this is a psychopath who just took over this ship. Who is like taking it back, who's literally bending the rules for his old crew members to get back on.
Kirk feels like
great.
he's the only person in the fucking universe who can do this. And then Bones says permission to come aboard, and Moran says permission granted, and then Bones has to go shave.
Yeah.
So then we see so many more shots of the Enterprise taking off, and then they head out to meet the Thing. Now, let me look at my notes for a second. What did you think of? So that would kind of be like where the episode break would be.
Yeah, sort of.
Like
right?
that would be like
leaving.
that's 33 minutes since we finished and they're just leaving space dock.
Dude, it's
and
long.
look at that little person who's waving at them.
Yeah,
There's like a little space guy
bye.
working who's waving at the massive Enterprise. I love it when they use a little person to show the scale of the
scales.
Enterprise.
Yeah.
We don't see that enough. And they get outside the ship a lot in the new ones. And I appreciate the shit out of that. But yeah, these are amazing remastered director's edition shots of the Enterprise leaving. And then
And when do they get to the wormhole? Oh, okay. It's about like 3 minutes later.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
So then,
Just right into it.
so basically, this is when they have a problem.
Oh, they have a simulation.
So they're basically Scotty's saying we got to do like 9 hours of simulations on the warp
Kirk's
core,
like,
and Kirk's like, no, we got to go
have 10
now.
hours.
And then the ship fucking has problems. There's this awesome scene
it's a trippy scene.
they have to. There's a rock that gets pulled into this warp coil with them.
But Kirk's about to use the what is it called? The warp engines.
No.
Then
He's going to use the phasers.
the phasers. Excuse
and
me.
then Decker says, "No, belay that."
Yeah.
So they're in a wormhole. Time's dilating.
Yeah, time's dilating.
Becker
that's
jumps
why.
in. Belay that order. Arm photon torpedoes.
Yep.
And so then they do photon torpedoes, and
they get out of
afterwards,
it.
and he saves them, right?
He saves them. Yeah.
And then Kirk asks to see Decker in his ready room or
It's
whatever.
so fucking tense
But
after
it's-
that, though.
but
it
it's
feels
good,
awful.
though.
Well,
But
no, it's great.
well,
It's
no.
exactly what I wanted to happen.
Well, so Decker and Kirk kind of butt heads immediately, over this, obviously, and the
Decker's
way that
right.
well, and Kirk even says that. Kirk's like,
exactly.
of course, it was my. He says it was the right play, and Kirk says, I agree with you, and I appreciate you speaking out, but like what I say goes, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And Bones has shaved. Basically, they're just they worry that they don't know enough about this thing, and they
It's
don't.
like, yeah, it's re-engineered. It's been 2 years, Kirk. Like, maybe you should back up. Someone just melted in the transporter room.
You
not
just
even
melted
an
a
hour
couple fools,
ago.
dog.
Yeah.
Like we just hadn't even left. I hadn't opened the fucking garage
Yeah,
door yet, and one of the
seriously.
kids was in the car all night. Like no good.
Yeah, no. This whole fucking wormhole sequence was cool, though.
So the wormhole sequence, basically, they're trying to go to warp, and Scotty's saying it's gonna be fucked up. It's gonna be
yeah.
fucked up, and then surprise.
Yeah, it's
fucked up.
No, it reminds me too of the abrasiveness again of like, oh look, there's that 1960s jet fighter. Let's go pick it up and grab it and smush it.
Oh,
in
dude,
pieces.
they really Kirk is a kind of a thumb.
Yeah, and what was it? Who tells him no that time? I think it was Bones.
Yeah, he
Someone
does it
says
anyway.
maybe we shouldn't do that, and he's like, "No, too late. He's already in the transporter. Whoops."
Shit's exploding. So basically, Bones is now after Kirk talks to Decker. Decker has a moment with Ilya, and now Bones is basically saying, "Listen, motherfucker,
Dude, I'm so happy this gets brought
you
up.
are obsessed."
Yeah.
And
this
let me
is all
pause it.
creepy.
So
did you
this-
just hear what Zulu said?
Bones-
The world's way too happy. Like, this is coming off strange. Jim.
Bones is like, you are obsessed with being the captain of the fucking Enterprise. And the reason I paused it is because like this goes back to something we talk about all the time when we were talking about the show. Bones is totally he's Kirk's consigliere.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like,
that's true.
He will always be honest with Kirk about how Kirk is fucking up.
No, and it just comes off like it would be strange if he didn't bring that up either, though. That's like it's such a Star Trek thing.
Dude, and
They
he's
do kind of wipe over it after this, but
and so as far as getting the band back together goes,
I think
they
they
now
ended
get
there,
it.
though, right?
No,
they now
because
get a signal here.
we got a Vulcan ship approaching.
Yeah.
Who dat gonna be? I think I could tell you. There's an awesome shot that we just skipped past where fucking Chekhov's face is huge on a little screen, and he looks like MODOK in Ant-Man that we were just talking about. This shot of the Vulcan shuttle docking, it looks real. Like, yes, I drank serum or whatever. I'm baked. But
looks
like
real.
it looks like a real ship. And that's what I loved about when I saw Rogue One in 3D on the IMAX screen at the
jeez.
zoo
Yeah.
in Minneapolis.
Holy shit.
It was so fucking awesome.
Massive.
And that space battle at the end when the ship tinks against the glass. I think I've told this story before, but I was just like,
No.
if I was talking during a movie, I would have been like, that looks real. Like,
Yeah, right.
because and
It's getting
then
insane.
looking at these
This looks
remastered
good.
effects, like how they take the awesome practical ships and like clean up and make them crisper and like it looks awesome. And of course, this Vulcan shuttle has a guy named Spock who's saying, "Look, man, I got a
Spock's a
message
motherfucker.
from deep space."
He's like, hey,
One
get
of-
off of there.
one of my
Hey, I
notes-
gotta go do this.
one of
Get
my-
the fuck out of my way. I
So
was like, "Damn."
I also have like 12 pages of notes or 10 pages of notes that I made. So just one thing that I was just scrolling to get caught up. No, I was just scrolling to get caught up. And one of them says, one of the alien races serving on the ship is just a guy with yellow eyes and a big forehead.
Yeah, right.
One thing I think
they put all the money in the special effects.
Yeah, a couple things I want to mention is all the muted colors. All the uniforms are like beige or gray. I don't like it's like, it reminds me of like the hospital chairs in the weird like small town hospital that I remember when I was a kid.
They changed it from like nice and colorful to like sterile and like kind of weird, and like it looks like a couch. Like the beige looks like all these couches. But then that's what makes Spock stand out. He's like in all black.
Oh, dude, Spock is goth as hell. And he's obviously pissed. Well, no, he doesn't have any emotion right now.
Well, no, exactly. Oh, okay, excuse me. That's what I meant to say. He has zero emotion.
Focused. There's another look. We're just hung up on these composite shots, but look at this shit. I love it when
composite shots are weird.
When they show when they split the frame vertically and it's like a figure in close up and focus in one side and then in focus in the background, and they do it with backgrounds even. Like there's nobody in the back of this. Oh yeah, there he is. That's the guy with the big forehead.
Right.
He is just so that Kirk
just
could be
chilling.
in focus and the guy with the big forehead standing in the background. I fucking love it. It's funny because I found where we're at in my notes because it says a shuttle shows up and of course, whoops, it's fucking Spock.
Yeah. The intro, the intro to Spock on the Enterprise is so
Spock
it just seems tense.
Spock says on Vulcan he sensed a consciousness. Bones is worried that Spock is gonna like put his own interest in studying the anomaly over like saving humanity, because they all know that something bad's gonna happen when the anomaly gets to Earth. They don't know what exactly, but if it's anything like what happened to those Klingon ships, they don't want to find out. Decker recommends. It takes them an hour to get to the part of the movie where they actually find the anomaly. There's a lot of conversations in areas that look like waiting rooms at hospitals in look at this. This is Kirk and Bones and Spock
again
sitting in with the padding.
Spock, loosen up.
On Vulcan, I began sensing a consciousness from a source more powerful than I have ever encountered.
So it's like now the trio's all here together, and it's 54 minutes in?
Yep, 54 minutes to get Bones and Kirk and Spock in the same room. And basically, Spock thinks...
though. This is the director's edition.
So Spock thinks that... And Bones brings this up because of the Kolinar. Bones knows Spock was doing his Kolinar, and now he's not. Bones is worried that Spock thinks that the solution to his Kolinar problem is in this fucking cloud, right? And that he's going to put that over the needs of saving humanity. And it's such a great thing because Spock is so logical. I know he would never do that, but it's definitely like he would weigh the benefits of it, you know? And then they get to the anomaly and they get scanned.
The red alert light is really cool too in that sequence.
I really want to see this in a fucking movie theater.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It would be great to do like
a long fucking movie though. Dude,
if we ever matter. We could rent a theater and do a live show where we show the director's edition and have like stand-up sets during the long parts where nothing happens.
That'd be funny.
So basically, the Decker and Spock and Kirk are all arguing about what to do about this cloud. They don't want to seem aggressive, and then so Spock says there's definitely an object at the heart of the cloud. He gets a message from the thing inside the cloud that says, we have been contacted, we have not replied. He does a lot of like touching his forehead. And then boom, the fucking thing attacks him. Let me see here.
But like Decker and Kirk keep conflicting.
Yeah, so Decker and Kirk are obvious. Like, we get it. You're fighting for control of the Enterprise.
So awful, though.
I
want it to keep going, but I can't stop. You know?
I feel like Al, you're totally like Team Decker, aren't you? Like, you think it's unfair.
Decker,
it really feels
funny,
like
though.
if you're like, Kirk
but
did
like
kind of fuck him over.
Yeah, but it is really funny how this all ends up.
Basically, Decker, Decker, does he get he maybe gets the better end of things.
Of course, but that's why it's so funny. We'll get to it, though.
They get attacked. They get zapped by a big green electricity. They get a super fast
and
message.
Scotty's hand, or not Scotty's hand, Chekhov's hand.
Chekhov's hand gets shocked. He does
That
a lot
sequence
of
is pretty
he does a
cursed,
lot
too.
of on the lighting, all the green lighting.
Yeah.
Decker and Ilya go to him, but these shots of the attack on the ship with the green lightning around the Enterprise. Ooh, it's so good.
It's smart, yeah.
So good. And then of course Dr. Chapel shows up to help
This is
Chekhov.
crazy too. What I just realized is that the reason why this feels like obviously 2 episodes or a longer episode is just because, I mean, where did all that budget go? The special effects, right? Because like they already had somewhat of the ship made. They already had somewhat of the lights figured out, right? They built all that fresh new, right?
This is all new. Like this is all new everything.
Okay.
It's a big
But
deal.
still, the whole sequence of the green thing that you were just saying, and like
It
the
looks a
lights
lot
and
like the
stuff,
special edition
it's an
effects.
episode, right?
It looks
like,
a
this
lot
all
like
feels
the-
like beats per beat.
It looks a
what would
lot like the
happen.
TV show effects.
No, but
And,
not that it's bad, but it's like it's still going in tune with like what Star Trek is, but it's not as blown out of proportion, I guess is what I'm saying.
It's like this is going to seem like whoa, but it's like it's bigger in scale. Like the story really visually fills up the frame, but it's actually a really small story.
Yeah, exactly.
Like at the heart of it, it's about people changing. Kirk couldn't handle being an admiral. He needs to be Kirk. He couldn't change. And then it's funny because Kirk couldn't change, and guess what? He doesn't have to.
Exactly.
He doesn't have to. He's still Kirk at the end. We'll talk about how hilarious the ending is in 30 minutes. But so they're fighting the anomaly, but it's also about Decker changing as we get into, right? And it's about
eerie,
Spock
though.
changing, and it's about V'ger, the thing, changing.
Yes.
You know, so while they're
V'ger.
being attacked, Lieutenant Ilya, so they get a super fast message from the anomaly, and then Spock is like, "It's a super fast message. They can't understand who we are or what we want." And then basically Spock starts sending them. They start sending them super fast, friendly messages. But Spock says he senses no emotion from the thing, only pure logic. And they're just trying to figure out what the hell they're going to do. And Decker is telling them to be cautious. Let me see here. Sequence of them flying over the ship. So basically, the machine ends up downloading everything about humankind, and Spock smashes the console because he doesn't want them to learn. He doesn't want this entity to learn about
do.
Yeah. So
Decker was like, "Wait, maybe I could stop it." And Spock's like, "Nope." He just breaks the thing.
and so this is another. Let me see here.
But they decide to go into it. Why? Because it's just a gamble
Well, they have to explore it.
and figure out what's going on.
So
basically, right?
basically, all they can do is keep going deeper into the anomaly, and then they actually get picked up like by a tractor beam at some point.
It's
but at this point,
freaky, though, this whole sequence.
so there's a long sequence after the time that they get attacked. Has Ilya been taken already? Hold on here.
No, not yet.
Hold on here. I want to see her get. I want to see. So they get a beam blasted at them, basically. And Spock is trying to transmit a signal saying, "Hey, don't attack us." He's trying to respond, but they get there's an awesome shot of the Enterprise, and then the thing that was going to hit him is stopped, and it's like, well, hey, that's nice, right? Well, it stopped. We stopped it, but then she gets
No. It
transported
happens
away.
later. They go
Oh.
deeper in, and then she gets beamed away.
Oh yeah, there it is. I'm scrubbing the timeline. So all I wanted to say is, as they go deeper into the anomaly, we really see what this movie's about. It's about
This is where the budget went.
It's about let's take acid in a Star Trek movie.
Yeah, seriously.
Like it's all these
this is
people who were in the
insane.
'60s. They would get home and like smoke weed and watch Star Trek. Then
These
they're like,
sequences are nuts.
so them
of fractals.
flying through the anomaly is like clearly influenced by 2001. It's like something that you wouldn't. It's almost trippier than I would expect.
Yeah.
But it really does, because it harkens back to 2001 so much, it really makes it more cinematic. And so they're traveling just deeper into the anomaly following this signal.
They're kind of like hypnotized by it too.
There's a radio signal that they're following into the shit. There's just this movie's so interesting because there'll be like several minutes of just them reacting to flying through this anomaly.
Yeah, that was the first thing I texted or I told Adam when as soon as we stopped there. I first watched it. I was like, there's like 30 minutes of them just going like, whoa, going in the shit. And I was like, not surprised though, because it's so beautiful.
And I am not mad at it.
No, I mean, I'm 50-50 with it.
Dude, I was watching this.
This sequence is gorgeous.
Dude, I was watching
this.
Nice
big TV.
I was watching this in the living room.
Yeah.
Holy shit. And yeah, there she is. Ilya's still, and she's just,
like,
she is fucking blown away, and she's gonna die in about 4 minutes. That lady does not exist anymore.
We don't know, man. She might be on a higher plane of existence. But
it said she's gone. Yeah. Like they even says, what if she's not? No. She's just, I just made her memories into a tape and put it in my fucking head.
Whoa, like JoJo, like Stone Ocean.
You're gonna make me cry. Dude,
was it really that good?
If you don't cry at the end of Stone Ocean, I think you might be an animal. I think even a dog. If a dog watched all of JoJo, a dog would cry at the end of Stone Ocean. It wouldn't know why exactly, because they trick your brain. They make so they get to this point deeper into the thing. There's lots more flashing lights. This has been minute 5 or 6 of these flashing lights, and it's set to the most beautiful score. Like, hold on here. The score is just so subtle, and then the deep bass of the timpani comes in when you get closer to the.
It makes you anxious.
Yeah, as they get closer to, of course, a giant space sphincter, which is what it always is.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I just want to get to where she fucking gets disappeared.
I think it's a minute 11, a minute 12.
So they're talking
an hour 12.
So they're talking about getting 500 meters away from so they get to it and they see that it's like a structure in this big electric cloud. And Kirk wants to get as close as they can. And and then there's 2 more minutes of them slowly flying over the ship.
But then they shows the scale. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what gets freaky.
Dude, Al knows what's up. He knows what I'm thinking.
Terrifying. So that's what made me a lot more creeped out. It's this sequence in the transporter part.
There was just a great shot from above of the Enterprise flying over the alien ship. Right. And the Enterprise is like a teeny micro machine in the ship. I love when they do that. Small. I have a real soft spot in my heart for when the Enterprise look real small.
Yeah.
And something's real big.
Yeah.
I really liked that in the J.J. Abrams one, the mining ship.
Oh, that's true.
The first one. So then they get closer and closer to the core of this thing.
It just looks more like a fucking nightmare.
So far, all they have been doing is leaning forward,
and it's just lights and darkness.
You were a fan of this show in syndication, which is why this happened or whatever, and then you go to the movie theater to watch it, and you're like, God damn, it's like 8 minutes of this space gullet, it's totally.
I think
it looks so good though.
Well, we were bringing this up of man, it's just so long. Or I was saying it's so long, it's so vast. And you were saying though, maybe that's the idea though of us waiting that long, that we're in the ship with them, seeing this in real time. They're not trying to cut it or do anything fancy. It's just they're drawing it out because you're holy shit, it really is this big, right?
Honestly, it is. Now that you say that thing that I mentioned earlier,
right?
It really does feel like there's another tiny Enterprise.
Right.
It really does feel like they are. This is a very immersive.
Them, right?
This is a very immersive Star Trek experience, and they achieve that by making the scale huge for these shots outside the ship that they can edit and change and do HD effects on and shit. And then all the stuff inside the ship. I was telling Al, it's when you think about it, this is a movie cost $35 million to make or whatever, and I'm not but
Ugh,
there's
looks
like
so
four
good, this
sets.
text.
There's like 4 or
Yeah.
5 sets.
Well,
you
that's what I'm
know?
saying. It kind of feels like prep too with the TV show. Is that it's all in the ship,
Yeah.
most of it, right?
Yep. And they, but
God, this
we do
sequence
see a
is
few locations that we don't
nuts.
see very often, like that big open lobby area from the beginning.
True. It just shows how terrifying it is, though. It's like, with space, you're used to seeing the stars and all that out there, and then it's just darkness and everything that surrounds it and just little lights.
So they get right up to this giant space star sphincter anus thing, and then it shoots a beam into the ship, and it goes to download all of human history, and Spock smashes the console.
Yeah, it's
And
like
then
this loud
it zaps,
sequence.
and then it's let's hear it. Oh, Spock gets zapped.
Yeah. Like
And,
he's getting pushed
and then-
back.
Yep, and then it's like a blue column that's just scanning the fucking bridge,
Yeah.
and everybody's just kind of like got their hands up, but they also want to look
Seems
at
too
it.
bright, yeah.
It is
Oh,
very
wait, Decker's
bright.
staring at it, though.
Dude.
Oh, that's kind of funny in retrospect.
Foreshadowing,
though.
yeah. Oh, and then Ilya gets zapped, and I love this effect. She's like
Yeah.
robo zapped. Like her movements,
Yeah.
everybody's movements are so like robotic and hilarious and awesome. And of course, Decker tries to stop her, and then she just disappears, and her
Dude.
tricorder
it
bonks on the
doesn't even-
ground.
See, it's funny because like they take their time with these space sequences and they're just flying in, but then it just beams her and she doesn't scream or anything. It's just boop, she's gone, and it's just super dark.
Oh,
And then,
so there's a
Decker has, he goes.
So earlier, Decker was like, "Are you sure that it's worth the unwarranted risk of flying into the heart of this robot
Yeah,
space
right.
anomaly?"
This is pretty creepy.
And Kirk says, "Define unwarranted." And then all of that shit happens, and
Yeah.
Decker says, "I think this is unwarranted, motherfucker."
Yeah.
Mic drop. Kirk
this is
like,
what I would define as
"Ooh."
unwarranted.
Kirk is like, "Ooh."
Yeah, see, this is where I was like, see, this guy's been thirsty. He loses his command. Now he sees his ex, his girl, and then he sees his girl pretty much vaporized, yeah,
But
to say the least.
so basically, they get into
And
a
it
tractor
was like a big
beam.
I told you so, It's
They
so rough.
get grabbed by a tractor beam, and then something beams onto the ship. There's more awesome shots
More
of them on the
sphincters.
bridge with the space sphincter, and then Robo Ileana shows up.
Yep.
And here's the thing. This is where we learn that this big vessel that they're inside of is called V'ger. V''Jer. And he's like, V'ger is the name of the captain of your vessel. And so Robot Ileana they call her the probe. She basically was
right.
created, and it's a robot that has all of Ileana's memories, and then she's got this red jewel in her chest that's like it's like a connection to V'ger. And they call her the probe because she's been programmed to observe and to find out about the human infestation on this spaceship.
Right. So
Because
it's like Bluetooth.
exactly. So then Kirk is like, look, Decker and Decker obviously had a connection with her when she was still a person.
God, they're like, yeah, you've known her. Why don't you just talk to her?
And
Figure
it's
it
funny
out."
because they even ask what happened to Lieutenant Ileana, and she's like, she has been deleted or something like that.
Ooh.
Her memory codex has been coded into mine, and they analyze the robot. And then basically they're going to use Decker to run interference and learn what he can.
Yeah,
They want
exactly.
to connect with her memory codes or engrams or whatever that were her human self. Oh, there's a great at 1 hour and 27 minutes in. So so they've been distracting her by like showing her the warp core and shit.
Right, they're like,
while
"Oh,
Kirk
here's
and
our
Decker
ship.
are like,
Here's
we
the
gotta
end
fucking
of
figure
it."
this out.
Yeah, right.
And then she just pounds through a door like, this is pointless.
It's
Help
like
me.
foil. She just peels it over like foil, and she's like, "Hey, look, I'm done with your ship. I need
Hulk
more."
rage. So then they try and get Decker to distract her. He shows her a game that he played with Ileana, and just as they're about to connect, her robot brain takes over again.
Right? She's like, "Wait."
And now this is where
give me
she
a
reveals.
second.
This is where she reveals that what the ship is going to do is it's going to reduce everybody on the Enterprise down to data patterns, and then it's going to do that to everybody on Earth. And at this point, a little not a B plot, but remember Spock's whole like trying to learn about his own shit through this thing?
Oh, yeah.
Spock then goes down to engineering or wherever. He Vulcan neck pinches an ensign, knocks him out, takes a spacesuit, and they're still trying to convince. They take it, and then in another shot, we got Chapel and Decker, and they put Ileana's favorite headband on her head to try and get her to remember her
memories.
Humanity.
Yeah.
And she says, Decker. And then he's like, Ilia. And then Ilia says that the creator, V'ger, is looking for the creator. And he's like, who's the creator? And they're like, V'ger does not know. But they think V'ger's on Earth, and they think humans are dirt.
Yeah, right.
Basically, the V'ger thinks that humans are like a parasite living on the Enterprise, and that the Enterprise is an entity because it's a ship like V'ger is. Mm-hmm. It's fucking awesome.
There's also, though, a funny sequence with that, with her regaining her memory. She's saying Decker and Decker. And, like, you know, Decker starts to fall in love again. And Bones is like, Decker, that's a mechanism. That's a sequence of code.
Decker, that's a mechanism.
Yeah, he's like, take a second, Decker. I was like,
put it in your pants.
Bones is so fucking, he's like, chill, Kirk. Like, it's
Bones
like Kirk 2.0. He's like, yo, so relax.
Then we get to one of the best sequences. Spock stole a spacesuit, and he flew out to the space sphincter.
Look,
he's trying to connect with it.
And I got to get in there, boys.
He's trying to connect with it, and then he does. And ladies and gentlemen, we go on a magic carpet ride.
Yeah.
We just watched this out in the living room when Al showed up. But so Spock is in a very 2001 Space Odyssey-esque spacesuit. And he's got a little rocket pack or rocket chair that he's in. And right when the sphincter is opening, he blasts himself into it.
It's nuts.
And he's like recording a message to Kirk if he doesn't come back.
Right.
A transmission where he's describing what's happening. And he basically flies through all of V'ger's recorded history. And it's also assimilated all of the data it got from the ship. So it's like seeing all these universes. And he's flying through this plasma energy conduit that looks like a screensaver from a late 90s Windows XP fucking, but it's awesome.
Oh, it's all beautiful.
And Leonard Nimoy's face in these sequences where he's flying, so it's just like close-ups of his face and the reflection of the anomaly stuff. And then he gets to this like black hole at the center that I gotta watch the original because this looks insane. Like there's like one pin of light in the middle. It looks awesome,
like
and
whale.
he's just trying to figure it out, and then boom, it's a giant spaceship of fractals that eats him, and then he has a space seizure after going through a bunch of rings.
How could you not imagine? Like your mind is blown.
And that looks like
could be the
going
only
to
one that would do
hyperspace.
this. But Spock would be the only one, right?
Spock is the only one that could withstand this.
Right?
Oh, and we should mention, while Spock is in the space consciousness tunnel, he sees a giant version of Ilia that has a big red electrical storm in the chest where the gem is. The sensor must have some special meaning. Mm-hmm. Hold on. I must try to mind meld with it. What an amazing line. So Spock sees the big electric storm sensor in Space Ileana's chest, and he says, the sensor must contain some special meaning. I must mind meld with it. And then he does, and it poisons his brain and spits him out the space anus, where Kirk just happens to be waiting to pick him up. Yeah,
there was like pause it in the part when right as he mind melds with it, it looks like flashes of like some stuff on his helmet.
Oh, dude, there's all kinds of shit that happens.
I think it's the movie.
Yeah. Like, there's all kinds of stuff that's happening. There's like, there's Ileana. It's like scenes from earlier. There's all kinds of shit that's cut in there in Spock's face before he gets spit out of the space robot anus. And it's just so funny that Kirk,
shots of San Francisco too.
Admiral/Captain Kirk is just out there in a spacesuit to pick up his buddy.
Yeah, right.
And spit out a space anus. And then we cut to the fucking a new set, sick bay. We haven't seen this one yet. I love it. And then Dr. Chapel. Sorry,
Oh, yeah.
they make a big distinction about that, which I love. When
Nice.
Bones is like, I'm gonna need a proper nurse. Chapel's a doctor now, and I'm not gonna fucking tell her to work for me. So basically, Spock is coming out of it and describing that he had a bit of an emotional experience. He didn't see any answers inside there, just a logical loneliness that's questioning, is this all that I am? So basically, he just experienced this consciousness. It's like a child realizing their own self-actualization, and it's got nothing to relate to. It can't find any other robots like it. It's looking for its creator.
Right.
What would be its creator? So they finally get a damp. They get a fucking a weak signal from Starfleet talking about how the cloud is getting close to Earth. And of course, the cloud gets to Earth and it shoots these big probes down that are gonna fuck shit up.
So the stakes are basically risen here.
So here's what.
But I think the whole
what's happening.
trippy part. Oh, such a nightmare.
Here's what happened. V'ger is looking for its creator. They don't know who that is, but V'ger thinks the creator is from Earth.
Yeah.
And V'ger thinks that humans are an infestation that have disgraced or destroyed the creator.
Like a virus, right? Because he was like you've taken over the Enterprise and you're just fucking it up. The Enterprise can run on its own.
Yep. So, and he's saying, no, we need to be. We're not parasites. The Enterprise needs us.
Yeah.
And basically, they're gonna assimilate the Earth. The carbon unit infestation must be removed from the creator's planet. And then this is where she's telling Kirk about how they're an infestation. You interfere with the creator in the same manner. Then Kirk does his Wiles thing that he does, and he says,
"Look, we're just not going to tell you what's happening, and we're going to hide in our elevator."
He says, "Look, we have information about what happened to the creator,
and you need that.
information.
Yeah.
So you need us alive. So you can't do anything to us. So." You have to remove your probes from Earth, and then I'll give you the information about the creator. And there is a fantastic scene. Okay, so 1 second. I gotta see who plays
in the turbo.
I gotta see who plays Ilya. So yeah, Kirk is basically evacuating the ship to shuttles or whatever, or they're just leaving the bridge. And she's like, "No, you have to give me the information." And I just want to find this actress's name, Persis Khambatta. She fucking rules, dude.
Yeah, she does a really good job.
So there's this scene where Kirk is tricking her into thinking he's got this information about the creator. And she's like, you must give us the information. And then you see on her face that she has like an emotional request. Like, you must give us the information. And then they go down to V'ger. Oh, Spock cries. So basically, Spock connects with V'ger. What they're gonna do is they're gonna self-destruct the ship.
So the way they get to that though is that because Kirk is like, "Hey, we're not gonna tell you this information. We're all just gonna hang out in the turbo lift." And Ilya is like, "Hey, no, we need this information." And he goes, "Well, you know what? Fuck this. We need to tell the V'ger himself." And she goes, "All right, give me a second." And then she goes, "You know what? We'll take you." And he goes, "Oh, you'll take us? Okay." And then I think they figure, hey, we'll do a self-destruct sequence, so we'll take it with us. And then that's what leads Spock to crying.
Yeah, Spock is crying because V'ger's going to be destroyed. Basically,
without the answer.
Basically, V'ger's like a child.
Looking for questions.
Oh, and we fucked up because all of that stuff about them saying they have the information about the creator was later than we thought. So basically, they're
like fibbing though, weren't they?
Yeah, well, no, they are now, but they do all the programming for the self-destruct sequence, and Scotty has like the one scene that he has in this part of the movie where he's like, "I got to explain that they figure all this antimatter and this matter will definitely take that alien with us." Because an ensign is like, why would they say? Why would he call the self-destruct? It's for the youth. At any rate, Kirk then has this idea about we're going to pretend we've got information about the creator. They then have another trippy sequence
and
where
it's a minute.
there's like there's an oxygen atmosphere is created around the Enterprise so that they can get out and walk around.
Yeah.
And a weird space bridge is created, and it takes
that's
so
right.
long. Oh my God, it's the best sequence. So we watched this bridge for like...
Well, let's see. It starts in a...
Yeah, I was watching it. Yeah, we're about 25 seconds in now. This space bridge connects the...
halfway through.
This space bridge connects the Enterprise to V'ger's brain, basically. And there's like 45 seconds before it cuts to the reverse shot. And I love it. It never dragged for me when I was watching it. Yeah, I was...
It's slightly dragged, but it was still pretty interesting.
I was just like, it looks like Hellraiser. It looks like the map paintings. And you mentioned Ghostbusters. I was thinking the same thing. There's so many, like, just the special effects are so great. That's a painting and some special effects, some animation. Dope. So once they get inside, they find out that V'ger's heart is actually what? The Voyager 6 space probe that disappeared into a black hole. And there's this... So in the heart of V'ger, where it's like the Voyager space probe, they wipe away the fucking writing, the dust, and it's like, oh, it's not V'ger, it's Voyager.
Yeah, right.
There's a great Futurama about this. There's several Futuramas about a lot of these things. Kirk wipes away the Voyager. And Decker's like, the Voyager 6 space probe from NASA disappeared into a black hole. Basically,
right, they figure out how to send information to it now, though. And
so what happened is the Voyager space probe collided with an alien planet that was all machines.
Right, and then the machines took it over.
And the machines became part of the space probe, and they went out, and their only programming was find knowledge and find the creator. And so they have just been doing that this whole time, and then basically. They're going to destroy... They don't realize... They still haven't figured it out, even though Voyager is V'ger. It takes until all of humanity is going to be assimilated and turned into data streams, as they say, that Kirk figures out, but wait...
They're past the 12 hours.
We're the creator. We're the creator, you know?
Wait, give us a second.
and so they realize that the only thing that's going to teach V'ger a lesson... is if they merge with the creator. Decker volunteers to become one with a robot.
Oh, no, but before they decide that, though, there's a whole sequence, though, that, like, they go, okay, we'll do something only the creator will do. We're going to transmit some data out of this Voyager 6 to you guys.
That's right.
Because we do have a radio code with the frequencies
he reached
out
to Chekhov. He reached out to Chekhov and Uhura to find the Voyager 6 codes, because the V'ger probe has been reaching out with a message from the Voyager probe, and they want to respond with the right code. You're absolutely right.
Exactly. And so then as they're trying to do that sequence, they're running out of
time. They can't input it.
And Kirk's like, please hurry. Oh, God, hurry.
And then Decker just speaks it out loud.
No, but then, that's true. Decker has the idea initially, but then he has a quick briefing. He has a quick meeting with his team, which is like still the Gene Roddenberry Star Trek-ish thinking out loud.
Here it is. Voyager's not transmitting the data.
Of course, the
creator must join with V'ger. That's what Ilya is saying.
Ilya says it.
And then Uhura is repeating the final sequence. It doesn't work.
Decker looks at her too. Initially, he's like, "Well, I mean, that sounds good." But then, what Bones is like, "Jesus Christ, it's a machine."
Yeah, and then Decker becomes one with the machine.
Oh, it's great though.
And then grabs some wires.
They realized it was cut though, because Decker completes the sentence. He's like, to bring the creator here and to finish it in person.
Which I never... it's
I don't
weird,
know, man.
but...
You're a little horny, dude.
Yeah, so he basically says, like, the reason that the V'ger disabled a certain part of the probe was so that the creator would actually have to physically show up and hump a computer, basically.
Yeah, and merge, quote, unquote.
And there's a great sequence of them merging.
And it's nice, though, that they all take a second to be like, okay, wait, so what's better than, like, end of life here? Okay, higher being. Okay, what's higher being? People and machines.
all right.
Sure?
And then the
He's
Decker
like,
goes,
"Fuck
let's
it."
find
Yeah,
out.
it's
Basically,
great.
they're like, can a person merge with a
And
machine?
fucking Kirk tries to pop up.
So Decker and Kirk both jump up to try and merge with the machine, and she karate chops
Yeah, it's
Kirk
great.
down.
I'm so glad they did that.
Decker holds some wires together, and
Oh, this part is so great though because Bones is like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And Decker
Bones
goes,
says,
"Yes, I
Decker,
do."
how you don't know what to do? And and Decker says, yes,
No,
I do.
And then he goes, "Jim, I want this. As much as you wanted the Enterprise, I want this." And I turned to Adam. I was like, "Damn, bro, this guy's just about to do something completely unknown to man, and he's still like, oh, by the way, you were still really fucking
Fuck
selfish.
you for taking the Enterprise.
Yeah, that's my favorite line.
As much as you wanted the Enterprise, I wanted to hump this robot." And it's not just the robot because he turns into light.
Stardust.
He turns into stars and disappears.
You know what it reminds me of,
and
though?
Then they merge in a tornado of stars.
Right? But as it's happening, though, do you know what it reminded me of? The light sequence before, right? An hour into the movie when it's like going around the ship.
Dude, same, yeah.
Yep.
It's and also it reminds me of every music video in the 80s.
Oh, for sure.
A bunch of stars and somebody turning around in the center. And so basically Kirk and Spock
is nuts, though.
and Bones are watching Decker
trio
merge with a computer lady.
And they're just, whoa.
And they're like, holy shit, hopefully this makes the computer lady not destroy all humanity.
They're like, oh, let's get out.
They run back to the Enterprise and
everything's okay.
So we witnessed a birth, Captain.
Yeah, that's what Spock says.
Possibly a next step in our evolution. Well, so here's the thing. Spock says our evolution. You're not human.
No, he's totally Team V'ger, though. He's like, yo, this is pretty dope.
Yeah, this is pretty dope. We made a new thing.
Yeah, this is beyond, like we just said back there, this is beyond comprehension.
And then Kirk says, I think we gave it the ability to create its own sense of purpose.
No, and the other great line as they're all like brainstorming and stuff, Kirk's like, okay, the machine needs something to leap its logic like we do. Like leap logic creatively and decisively. And then Decker's like, yeah, we should merge.
Oh, yeah. Decker's like, oh, so you need a human to have sex with a computer program?
Yeah,
I'm into it.
Me. And Bones like, are you sure?
And he's like, it's all I've ever wanted. Kirk, you're a dick. Dude. And that's
that ending is so funny, though. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so then who says it? Uhura. She goes, hey, Captain, Starfleet's like requesting what happened. Like, is our ship okay? Casualty report. And he goes,
two casualties.
Wait, never mind.
He says, wait, let's call them, let's say they were missing in action.
Yeah.
And then it's also like, what about those two motherfuckers that got melted by the transporter?
Like, oh, no, that was when we were leaving.
That was before we left.
Yeah, they recorded that.
Technically, that was under Decker's command still because I hadn't told them.
We hadn't left, so therefore, I was the captain of the ship.
No. Uhura
they were still fixing it.
Uhura hadn't gotten the request. And what I love about the ending of this is it's exactly like the ending of every fucking episode of the TV show.
Yeah.
They just say,
no message to Starfleet. No, holy shit, thank you for saving us.
Yeah, they send back the thing that says, Dad, we had the two people who are missing in action, and now we're gonna go explore. It's
Slice of life.
Kirk, take a nap.
Yeah, no, it reminded me. So many endings.
Just chill out. They just end. They learn a lesson on the bridge. They say, hey, we created it. We helped create a new life, found a new sense of purpose, saved all of humanity. Let's get back to work. And Bones is on the bridge, and all I can imagine is he's thinking, you fucking drafted me, you motherfucker. Right? I was done with this.
Home?
And you're just going off on the next mission?
He's like, wait, what about Earth?
And Spock says, also, I'm not going back to Vulcan. Fuck that only logic shit.
Yeah,
I like my human side.
This was crazy.
This was some awesome shit.
It's not every day you ride a little spacesuit into the ethers of time and like space and just bend your head.
I am definitely going to watch those in the future.
Yeah. Anywho, but
Doohan says he says we'll have you back on Vulcan within 3 days, Spock. And he says unnecessary.
Scotty,
my time on Vulcan is done.
Person. But then no one asks Bones.
Yeah. So Spock says my time on Vulcan is done. Kirk leans forward and says, out there. And then he just says, we're going to go that away.
That away.
And then they
Fuck
take
it.
off. He doesn't even say engage.
This is literally Kirk's best case scenario, though.
And then the song that plays at the end is Life is a Dream.
Yeah.
Because this is Kirk's dream. And you can see on Bones' face that he does not want to be there.
Yeah, he looks
like
miserable.
he's just like,
He's just like, ooh.
I fucking love it. And then this amazing remastered shot of the
Right,
Enterprise.
And they just take off.
And the Enterprise didn't really get blown up or damaged. This is one of those rare Star Trek movies where the Enterprise doesn't get completely blown up.
I was going to say that too. I was going to bring that up to you too later. Yeah, of course. I was like, man, if it left it like that every time,
dude,
that'd be expensive every week.
Directed by Bob Wise, released in
Robert
1979.
Wise. So
doubled its money in the box office. Definitely reinvigorated Star Trek as a thing. And this is this is right as home video was becoming a thing, right? And it was when that people were watching it on syndication. What year did Wrath of Khan? What year did Wrath of Khan come out?
Probably what, 80s?
Let me find
This
out.
was 79.
I just want to find out how much time there was before the sequel.
But it got a
82, so 3 years. Now, what were you going to say? Break it down.
No, I was just gonna say the whole reception of this. I was reading in the compendium that it's like half and half, where like some people loved it, some people hated it, cause I think it was just cause of what we were talking about, the sequencing of it, the timing, the stretching, the pacing.
It's such a wildly paced movie.
Yeah,
like it's so
that.
I was trying to think about it from like a screenwriting perspective, and obviously like I think you could break it into like the traditional 3-act structure, but it also feels like it's more of like a 5-act. It feels like it's a 5-act thing, or 2 episodes of a 45-minute show where you have like the whole sequence of like Kirk taking the Enterprise back.
Yeah, that felt
that's
like a
the
whole
same movie.
Yeah, I know,
as
right?
the thing we just finished watching.
No, as they spend 9 minutes going into the void of things bending and stuff, and I was like, oh, it was just silly like 2 minutes ago with them fighting.
12 or 15 sets, and then all the special effects, and they tell a story where all of humanity is at risk, and it's still really small and personal for Kirk, who's going through his journey to get the Enterprise back. And for Spock, for finding out that he's not going to pursue the Kolinar, which is actually a huge fucking deal for a Vulcan to just not do it.
He wipes over in 2 minutes explaining the Scotty.
He's like, no, that was just at the end. We saw that he was that tear. I think the tear was the Kolinar disappearing.
But after him flowing through V'ger and just experiencing that entire trip, that changes anyone, dude.
Even the most logical of half Vulcan, half human hybrids.
Oh, and I was going to say, too, the ending of this movie reminded me of like 2 or 3 endings of Star Trek's were like, or no, 3. Yeah, no, actually 2 in particular. One is where they bend time, right? And they reverse time, and Zulu's like, Captain, we just rewounded time. And he's like, oh, sick. All right, let's get out of here. We're sure done. You write it down.
Write it, yeah, log it. Enter it in the log. We time traveled.
The second one is when the girl dies because she jumped, the civil rights leader, she jumps in front of the train, and they're all like, whoa, that tunnel was fucked up. And Uhura was like, what happened? Nothing, let's leave. And it was like, what? They spent a week in there in the Depression era, you know?
And it's only like an hour an hour to yeah, dude.
It just cracks me up. It's just like, there wasn't Lieutenant Troy or Deanna Troy.
Yeah,
there wasn't counselors. There wasn't psychiatrists.
That's what space. Bones served as that in this. I think. Like, and that's what
at the middle.
We mentioned that at the in the middle of the beginning. We talked about how Bones is like, Kirk, you're obsessed, and at the end, you could see that Bones is like thinking about that line, like when Bones is standing up and to Kirk's left. And you can see that line hanging heavy on his face, where he's just like, "You're obsessed," and he just is just sucked along with it, man. It's so wild.
I'm glad that got brought up too, because it was starting to piss me off. I was a bit Team Deckard. This just all came off like not serial killer-esque, but like just like way too creepy. Where he's like, "Hey, I bent the rules, Scotty. I got the ship back," and Scotty's like, "Are you really sure?" Like. it's been 2 years.
It's like
you've been
Kirk was
far away.
just-
He's like, I don't give a fuck.
It
It's
really-
my ship.
doesn't
And
it
he's
kind-
like, okay, cool.
It's like he was waiting for a 9/11 to happen.
Yeah.
So that he could take control of the Enterprise. Like that's he was
this
just
is the
like
closest ship. We gotta do
and
it.
only and because I was the ship, I was the captain. So and I'm the
admiral, and now I'm
12
not
hours,
admiral.
Scotty, 12 hours.
Yeah, right. And they take what? At least more than that.
Dude, the pacing.
The timing changes. They spent oh my god, they spent like 9 minutes going through that whole tunnel, and they could have just zipped through on the warps.
Well, you can't fly at warp inside of a
inside the
ship.
ship,
Who knows
right.
what's going to happen? And they were like studying it and
so
looking at
weird,
it.
though.
And also, it
It
looked
was
fucking
great, though.
awesome.
Yeah, it's a movie. It's the motion picture.
Every time they showed the view screen, it looked so good and clear. And
That was the other point too. I forgot when you were saying it's so like, what is it called? It's the motion picture, but the story's so
Cinematic.
personal. You know,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. Any other if it came out this year or another year, like. Or modern times, it would just be like all these fucking spaceships like flying into each other and all these lasers and like these amazing space sequences and stuff.
And
like,
this is just
this is just them
faces.
flying through, just being like, holy
it's just
shit.
close-ups of these
Yeah.
great actors.
But the special effects, dude, come on.
And
Like, that's, master class.
I am-
With the cinema and the music and the,
And there's
just
not
hits
as
it.
many like practical like effects. Like I mean, well, there are practical ships and stuff, but I
Well,
mean,
right.
like there's
And
not
just
a
the
lot of like
compositing.
people's
Lots of
wounds.
compositing.
You know what I mean? There's not like it's most of the special effects are in the visuals. They're not like
Exactly.
prosthetics, things like that.
Maybe
you know,
that's why everything was so beige.
there was
They ran out of
forehead
money.
guy. Well, no,
The one forehead guy. Yeah, that's right.
I think they were trying to really distinguish it from the show and kind of modernize it.
Maybe get as far
But
away
like
from it as they could.
1979, 1981, that wasn't like a great time
Well, it's still
aesthetically.
aged, yeah, right.
And
It'll
so
age
it
regardless,
was
but
just
still.
like one thing
It's
I
the
didn't want
color.
to, I didn't, because we've been talking about the special effects and how great the slow,
To me, that's what
drawn-out
holds it,
sequences
bro.
are.
If
But-
that wasn't in there, I feel like it would have been too long.
But what I
And it still is
think,
too long.
I can't end this conversation without saying that the close-ups and all the shots on the bridge, that shot of the entire, you never really see the entire Enterprise crew in one big room like that, like when he's showing them what's coming.
Yeah, that's true. It felt a lot
that's
bigger.
That's fucking awesome.
That's part of the upgrade.
And yeah, and all of the, like I just really feel like the and the HD remastering, like just like we talk about in the show when we talk about the HD remastering of the original series, it looked so good. All the close-ups were so like sharp, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just a joy to watch. And it could have been and the fact that it ends like that and then the resolution on the bridge is just like, well, we all really learned something today, didn't we?
Yeah.
Peace out. Like, wow.
What is
Fucking
it?
wow.
Spock almost lost his mind, guys. And we almost destroyed the Earth, but at the same time, we saved it. But at the same time, we made some new being. Oh, that's what that reminds me of. It's the transhumanism movement with like people getting prosthetics, but with like Bluetooth, right? Like, you know, this and that. And it's going to start out like that, right? But then some people are like, oh, well, why don't we just attach it to the chips in our brain? And then it'll do that. But it's like, oh, we'll be a better human.
No.
But hey, man, it'll be merging. There'll be merged surgeons.
Dude, we're not there yet.
Oh, no. I mean, give it another 400, 600
or
years.
or go into
the Google Glass, bro. We got to talk about that too.
or
Speaking
go
of.
into the long ago, far away of Star Wars, where they had
Yeah,
that
right.
technology.
It's so nasty, though. Think about
millions
that.
of years ago, where
Be
they
like-
put like a pump in your stomach instead of a heart. You've got like Ming Na Wen in like her character,
That's
and
true.
yeah, so
But you
great,
could just be like, oh, shit.
fantastic
Arrested.
fucking movie.
Oh, it's so good. I mean, well, okay, look. I'm not going to say it's amazing. I think it's like...
Well, IMDb rating says 7.7, so I think you're
I don't
kind of
know,
like,
man. I think it's the special effects that hold it together, but
oh no, that's
man,
Wrath
it's
of
all the
Khan. What
acting
the
too.
fuck?
No, yeah, Wrath of Khan was the higher
Wrath
one.
of Khan was 7 of 7.
I
No,
think
that's
this one's a 6.4. Yeah, it's
Ugh.
half. But it's just because of the pacing, dude. You're totally right. But it's not his fault. Like, think about it. It's his first movie, and he's like, shit, I got to turn something in.
No, it's not his
whatever
first
these
movie.
is.
Robert
Well,
Wise
that's
had
true.
directed.
No, not Robert Wise. I'm talking about the writer, Gene.
Oh, Gene Roddenberry.
Yeah, because this all has the beats of like pro Kirk, and it's like.
I wonder, is
You know
this
what? Fuck
his
Decker.
first film
You know
script?
what, Decker? They're gonna merge anyways, so like whatever, he's fine. You know what? No, they shouldn't die. They should be reported as missing. Like it felt like I felt his voice, just as it was with all the shows.
It really compassionate.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's also very logical, especially with the team meeting at the end. They're like, wait, emergency meeting. What's better than this life? What's better than this consciousness? I don't know.
Well, let's find out.
Yeah. Like that whole little sequence I really liked.
I'm trying to see
Nowadays it would just be like crazy music. I'm thinking immediately of the Bad Robot sequence, right? Where they're like riding the wave of like all these robots and they're listening to the quote unquote classical music, and it's really what's it called?
Yeah, Beastie Boys. That's in Star Trek
it's
Beyond,
a completely
right?
different vibe, right?
Very, very different. Yes, and
but this one was so. I guess it's smooth. I'll give it a 6. No, I'll give it a 6.5, a 7.
He actually
got to be in the movie.
He actually didn't write the script for this.
Oh, really?
He just it's based on characters by. Hold on, let me pull up the thing. Hold on. Writers. Wait, all cast and crew. Yeah, so Gene Roddenberry is just based on Star Trek, created by Harold Livingston and Alan Dean Foster did the screenplay and the story respectively. Let me see what else Harold Livingston wrote. Oh, he wrote on the Mission Impossible TV series. He wrote on Mannix. He wrote on Banachek. Oh man, this guy is a grizzled old TV writer. Holy shit! Yeah, and he wrote on Fantasy Island. Yeah, if you wanted a cigar crunched on a screenplay, you called Harold Livingston. It's looking like holy shit. And then who's the other guy? Alan Dean Foster. Oh, he did not write very many things.
Well, I don't know. It just came off so like...
It did feel like a Gene Roddenberry joint, especially at the end. I think it really came like you said, it ended like an episode of the show, and it really felt like that vibe. And it is way different than the J.J. Abrams stuff. And I'm really excited because after we finish recording this, after you take off, I'm going to watch the season premiere of Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, and this was all just like a nice little prep for them to go to the big screen. But it is really cool, though, to see something like this right after the first season, It's nice to see where they end up.
And I think
a cool reunion,
speaking
especially
of
at the beginning.
End up, we're at like 90 minutes here, so I think we're done.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to promote Strange New Worlds. I'm really excited to watch it. It's going to be really fucking good. They're going to do a Lower Decks crossover where there's live action Lower Decks people in Strange New Worlds. Cool, it's going to be bomb as hell.
There's new Beavis and Butthead. What was he going to say? I haven't finished it, but I got to start it. And then, music, though. There's this new electronic album, EPROM, EPROM. But I forgot what the album's called. Let me look it up. But it's really, really good. It's like nice 10, 12 tracks, pretty short. Synthesism. That's what
Synthesism by EPROM.
Yeah. Here, I'll show you a picture of it.
So we're recording we're gonna release this episode in a couple days. I mean, it doesn't matter to you, but then we might do another one of these bonus episodes. But by then we'll have figured out what we're gonna do for season 2. And I hope you enjoyed this walk through Star Trek: The Motion Picture. I look forward to doing other fun little stuff like this. Like maybe we'll watch a Lower Decks.
Stuff.
We'll we got to watch Wrath of Khan and talk about it.
For sure, yeah.
But yeah, that's it. So you can like and subscribe to the show. Check it out. If you're just getting into it, go back and listen to all 28 episodes of season 1 that are available for free wherever you get your podcasts, as long as that's like iTunes or Spotify or Podbean.
Yeah, we'll see.
And we've also got an email account that nobody has emailed yet. That is trekinthevalley@gmail.com. I believe I have 2 emails, but obviously we're still getting spun up here. But thank you so much for listening to this bonus episode.
Thank you so much, guys.
Come back for season 2 in a couple weeks.
Yep.
Or a month.
We'll see.
Peace out.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Trek in the Valley, which is hosted and produced by myself, Adam Ordal Quinnell, and Al Hurt. If you like the podcast, please like, subscribe, rate, review it, do all the things that people do. If you want to find us on social media, that information is in the episode description on your favorite podcast app. If you want to send us an email, you can do that at trekinthevalley, all one word, @gmail.com. Thank you so much. Keep listening.